Welcome back to Tempo TV. I am Shawna Spaziani, the Southern Regional Sales Manager for Tempo Lighting, and today we are going to talk about where to use symmetric optics in outdoor lighting. Now, outdoor lighting fixtures are commonly seen as floodlights or linear LED fixtures like this, with common optics like 45 by 45, 60 by 60, 90 by 90, and 120 degrees by 120 degrees. These are very close numbers on paper, but have very different functions when they get installed outside. Now, it is true that the more watts the fixture has, generally the more light output it gives. But if you don't focus this light in the correct way, you're going to waste and lose a lot of light in the ambient, especially outside, and that wasted light equates to wasted energy, which becomes then wasted money. So the fixture I'm going to be demonstrating with today is the Clip 4X. This is an outdoor rated fixture with 2.5 watts and 5 watts per foot, translating to 340 to 580 lumens per foot. It has those 45 by 45, that 60 by 60, and 120 degree by 120 degree beam spreads that we'll be talking about today, with AC and DC options which make it ideal for landscape lighting. Now, 3 things you can ask yourself when choosing your outdoor lighting fixture is 1, can I hide it easily? If you're using a floodlight, it usually needs to be mounted a few feet away from your illuminated surface. If you're using an LED linear light source like this, it can usually be mounted either a few inches away from a surface or right up against the wall. The low profile of these linear fixtures tend to make it a little bit more discreet and a little bit easier to hide than a traditional floodlight. The second question you might ask yourself is, how far away will my fixture be from my illuminated surface? The longer the light has to travel, or the farther away the fixture is, the more light output you're going to need. Also, depending on the shape of the wall, that distance can also change. And finally, also the third question you want to ask yourself is, what is the shape of the surface I am lighting? Is it a wide, large area, or is it small and tall? Consider these 3 scenarios. Lighting an exterior wall, which would be wide and tall, lighting a tree or a column, which would be tall and thin, or lighting a step, a walkway, or a piece of furniture, like a bench. That would be small and typically require wide optics. These are 3 different shapes requiring 3 different optics. Now, the exterior wall, usually your goal here is to evenly illuminate a large, wide, expansive area. Typically, you want to start with a wider optic. The larger numbers are wider optics, so 120 degrees by 120 degrees, or a 90 by 90 is a good place to start. The floodlights usually give you a conical shape of light, which means it's narrower at the fixture itself and becomes wider the longer the light has to travel. So again, a great reason why you want the floodlight to be installed a few feet away from your wall, shining up to the wall itself. That wider optic will give you a wider footprint on the wall. The larger the number, the bigger the footprint. A linear LED fixture works a little bit differently in that the shape from the linear LED fixture is a little bit different. It will also give you that wide optic and that wide expanse with those larger numbered optics, like a 90 by 90 or 120 degree by 120 degree. But to get that wide optic, you don't necessarily need to move the fixture far away from the wall. If you want to move it away from the wall to expand the illumination pattern of the footprint on the wall, usually you only need a couple of inches instead of a few feet away. Now, depending on the height of a tree, you may want to use a higher lumen output fixture, but you will also require the light to be focused along a slim beam that will highlight only the tree itself and not spill light onto any of the ambient surrounding the tree. Again, all of that spilled light is going to be wasted energy and wasted money. So usually if you're lighting a tree or a column, start with a more narrow optic or a smaller number like that 45 by 45 degrees. Steps, walkways, furniture that you want to illuminate and highlight usually require small fixtures that can fit into tight spaces and hide inside the architectural lines, and also smaller optics that allow you to highlight those architectural lines. So A 60 by 60 or a 90 by 90 will ensure that you won't see any dark spots between your fixtures or at the end of your runs, and it'll give you that really nice even glow that you'll need underneath your furniture, in your walkways or those kick lights, or under those steps. Now these are just a few scenarios that I see commonly, but you can mix and match optics, outputs, and a variety of other accessories commonly used and offered with outdoor fixtures like mounting arms and glare shields, so that you can find the perfect fit for your scenario. Now please leave any questions or comments you have about your specific landscape lighting ideas in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and please tune in next time when we talk about micrograzing and edge lighting glass.